Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek, and today I have for you a 30,000 foot view of the world's smallest coin. I should say the US's smallest coin. So we're going to look today at 3-cent silver pieces and just get ourselves a little bit more familiar with the series, which is often overlooked and really quite interesting. 1851 was the first year of issue. It's also the only year where there is a coin with a mint mark. So both these coins are dated 1851. And you can barely make out the date on this one. What's interesting is the lettering is noticeably different on these two coins. This one on the right has, I think, fatter lettering, and the one on the right is the one that actually is from the New Orleans Mint. This is just kind of an aside when you look at coins and talk about preservation of coins. This coin actually has a lot of things on it that I think would cause it to, well, that I think are detrimental to the coin. In other words, they're the type of thing that you'd want to get off the coin and have professionally restored. This is not an omen. I do think someone maybe tried to turn it into an omen by putting a drill mark right where the O should be. So for what it's worth, note that the big open spots between the C's and the 3, of course, standing for 3 cents. Sometimes this issue is also known as a trime. So like a dime, but TRI, trime. And the shields on these, a lot like a lot of the U.S. shields and stars, kind of U.S. symbology, something that is pretty common to see. So this issue, they made this style from 1851 to 1854 before they switched over to having a style where they outlined the shield with two lines. There are 2 lines that go outside of the shield starting in 1854. And what's interesting to me is how often I look at these coins, and a lot of times they're worn, they're bent, and you look at them and they just look so different from one year to the next, the issues. So here we have now, not only did they change the star design, they also, the outlines of the star, they also added these leaves and arrows around the 3 pillars to add even more design to what was already I don't want to say a crowded space, but such a small surface. Now you may think that the $1 gold piece is smaller than this, and technically it is. These are 14 millimeters, those are 13, but the $1 gold piece literally weighs twice as much as these guys do. And oddly enough, the United States of America here, the way this is printed, reminds me tremendously of the print of the typeset for the $1 gold pieces. So from 1854 to 58, they had 2 lines outlining the star and the shield, and then starting in 1859 on till the end of the series in 1873, the design went to just 1 single line on the outside of the shield instead of the 2 lines. It's a really interesting series because up until about the Civil War, they had pretty large production rates and are pretty available. I mean, most of the coins you can buy in lower grade for 35 to 40 bucks. Middle grades are like $100 coins, and getting into the higher grades, they're $200 and up. That's true from until about 1863, and then all of a sudden the mintages dropped to mostly between 10 and 20,000 coins per year. And for that time period, most of those coins start out at $400 just in low grade and are over, they're thousands of dollars in higher grade. And so it's a pretty interesting series because it's really bifurcated by the Civil War timeline, basically, and those strange mintages. Lots of those years have those Civil War more expensive years have proof coins that are actually less expensive to purchase than the uncirculated coins are. I just want to compare these 1-line outline with 2-line outline stars so you get a sense for what it looks like with the 2 lines versus the 1. Those 2 lines are really on top of each other versus the 1 line on these. You know, it's interesting because they started with those lower production rates, Civil War, post-Civil War, and that's the exact same time they started with the fractional currency. So you started seeing really low mintages on all the smaller coins during those 1860s and 1870s. This is pretty consistent throughout the mintages. If you compare like shield nickels and you compare 3-cent silvers, 3-cent nickels, and 2-cent pieces, you start to see those mintages drop in the 1860s into the 1870s, and then you start to see fractional currency being issued, including a 3-cent piece. So they issued 3-cent paper money during that time period as well. So one of the fun little pieces of history. It's a pretty tough series to collect. All in all, these 3-cent silver pieces. Like I said before, you can see that up until about 1863, they're relatively affordable in lower grades, and then once you get into those 1860s Civil War eras and later, they just hop in value. So let me know, guys, if you collect these. Kind of a fun issue. Really hard to find high quality on those because a lot of them are damaged, bent, or just hard to see. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.